Split into pages, pagination. There is a table, we have already seen it. This is a simple table. There are 17 values, but there could be 170,000 of them. If 170,000, even 17,000 will be loaded on the page every time it is opened, it is too long for the user to work comfortably. Automatic splitting into separate pages is available. How does this work? We go into the table settings. Here is this parameter, pagination. The default here is 0/0. That means it's off. It can also be empty and then it's off too. So what does this mean? We're setting limits. We want to show 10 rows per page in the desktop version, and through a slash we can specify it for the mobile version. The mobile version is a little slower. We recommend a limit of no more than 50 rows for mobile. Well, here it can be 1 or 2. In some cases 500 or 300. Choose it experimentally on the basis of the loading speed of a certain table. Save. Let's see what it looks like. The page refreshes. And here we get a paginator. We're on page 1 right now. We can flip to page 2, and we can go back. We can change the number of output rows. For example, we set it to 40, and the data will be updated and displayed according to the value you entered. But when we reload the page, it returns to the default values. The red square means that not all the data fit on one page, there are several pages. Now an important point, there are sorts. For example, from A to Z and these mathematical operations and everything in this menu works on this exact page. There's a notification about that here. And these filters, when you turn them on, will only work on this page. Anything that doesn't belong on this page won't be displayed here. Okay. As you can see, we have a sort field set in this table. The sorting proceeds before the pagination. Neither sorting nor pagination slows down the database selection. You can safely use them even in very large tables. If the order will be reversed, then first on page 1 will be the last rows, and then the next. Quite often it happens. It is necessary to show not the first page, but the last on the loading page. That is, or as it is done here. In the splitting option, we can specify with a slash by writing last. This means that we want to load the last page by default when we refresh the page. The splitting is set to 10. The first page had 10 lines. The last one should have 7. This is the type of work, last. If we want the last page to be shown, with 10 items displayed, but in reverse order from the end, that is, we want to count 10 rows and show these 10 rows on the page, then we do not set last, but we set desk, descending. Let's save it. Let's see what we get. We are on the last page and we see 10 elements, descending from the end. And the last thing, here we can enter any digit. For example, we have 170,000 rows. We can quite easily enter a number of 170,000 rows. And there is always a value that will cause the user's computer to hang up. If we prevent this, we can set the maximum value that is possible in this field, the number of rows. How we do it, we put 2 asterisks here and after that we write the maximum values. For example, 15 for desktop and with a /10 for mobile. You have to have 2 asterisks. They are put at the end after this construction. How will it work? I have 10 here. We set it to a maximum of 15. I say 150, but it gives me a maximum of 15. That's the end of the page breaking. Practice and use it in your projects.